Hello guys, welcome to Protocol Studios. I'm Chris, and if this is your first time visiting this channel, you are warmly welcome. So today I'll be sharing with you my personal artist recommendation or artists that I would recommend you to follow as a beginner or as an amateur artist. And so before we begin this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So without wasting my time, let's just dive right into the video. Hiya! The first artist that I would recommend you to check out as a beginner or as an amateur artist is Ati Galen. And if you're wondering who is Ati Galen is the former senior artist at Riot Games, and is now the founder and creative director of Enva Studios. I personally love his art style, the way he uses colors to communicate, transmit, or convey a message. I also love the way he applies light, shadows, reflections in his paintings, and his paintings are never boring to look at. I definitely recommend you to check him out on his social media platforms, and I'll leave a link in the description below. So the next artist that I would recommend you to check out is Shin Jong-hoon. If you are wondering who is Shin Jong-hoon, and I might be butchering this, but I apologize, Shin Jong-hoon is a Korean background artist and illustrator. And if you want to learn how to paint backgrounds, environments, or if you want to learn how to paint objects in the different times of the day or different seasons, I would definitely recommend you to check out Shin Jong-hoon. I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can check him out after this video. Another artist that I'd recommend you to check out as a beginner or as an amateur artist is Seung Yoon Kim. I might be butchering this, but Seung Yoon Kim is the executive producer and director of the Boondocks. And if you haven't seen the Boondocks, that is the Boondocks. And I personally love his art style. It kind of looks like a realistic comic book type style, and I really love it. I also love his color choice, the way he uses lights and shadows and reflections in his paintings. It's just outstanding. So yeah, feel free to check him out, and I will leave a link in the description below. Let's move on to the next artist. The next artist that I'd recommend you to check out as a beginner or as an amateur artist is Christophe Young. Christophe Young is the lead concept artist at Virtuos, and his art style is just amazing. I recently came across his page, and damn, I was so awed by his paintings. So if you're a beginner or an amateur artist and you want to understand the human anatomy better, I would definitely recommend you to check out Christophe Young. I'll leave a link in the description below. Let's move on to the next artist. Another artist that I would definitely recommend you to check out as a beginner or as an amateur or as an intermediate artist is Sam Yang. And most of you guys have seen his artworks and paintings on Instagram, YouTube, on lo-fi channels, and the art community knows who Sam Yang is. He's popularly known as Sam Does Art. The way he uses colors and lighting to communicate is just interesting. And the characters in his paintings are also interesting to look at. His art often gives you a nostalgic, happy, intense emotion. And I really think that is one quality of a great artist. I'll leave a link in the description below so that you can check him out after this video. Now let's move on to the next artist. The next artist that I would recommend you to check out as a beginner or as an amateur artist is DUCKY Draws Art. The first time I came across this guy's artwork on ArtStation, I instantly fell in love with his work. I find his art style to be very cool. and his art style has this rough, traditional feel, and I find them to be fascinating. He often includes great lighting, great use of Gaussian blur, great art style. And so yeah, feel free to check him out, and you might get inspired by some of his works like I am right now. I'll leave a link in the description below. Moving on, another artist that I would recommend you to check out is NIKOLAI LOCKERTSEN. I personally love his art style, his color choice, his great knowledge and understanding of values, light, shadows, perspectives, and his great use of these types of blurs like Gaussian blur, motion blur in his paintings. So feel free to check him out, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Let's move on. The next artist that I would recommend you to check out as a beginner or as an amateur artist is Aenami. And most of you have seen her paintings and artworks on YouTube and all these social media platforms. I personally think that Aenami is just a talented and anonymous artist, and that's what makes her special, just like Frank Ocean for me personally. So yeah, just go check out her amazing paintings and just awe to them. I'll leave a link to Aenami's social media platforms in the description below so that you can check her out after this video. Let's move on to the next artist. The next artist that I would recommend you to check out is JAKUB, popularly known as Mr. Werewolf. I personally love his art style as well. I love the way he paints backgrounds and environments, with the atmospheric pressure. And I also find the theme of his paintings to be really amazing. His art has this mythical, fantastical, and medieval theme to them. And like I said, I find it to be very cool. I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check out his paintings and all the amazing stuff that he's been up to in the description below. Let's move on. The next artist that I would recommend you to check out or follow as a beginner artist is MORA. And MORA is an illustrator and a comic book artist at Boom Studios. I recently came across his artworks and I was so amazed by his works. And I love his art style and his understanding of the human anatomy. So if you're a beginner artist or if you want to be a comic book artist, I would recommend you to definitely check out MORA. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now let's move on to the next artist. And finally, the artist that I would recommend you to follow or check out as a beginner artist is Richard LYONS. Richard LYONS is the co-founder and arts director at Mountaintop. I love his art style in general, and I also find, his paintings to be so fascinating. So if you are a beginner artist or an amateur artist, I would definitely recommend you to check him out. I will leave a link in the description below. So that is the end of the artist recommendation for you guys. And if you know other artists that I haven't heard of, feel free to leave their names in the comment section below, and I'll definitely check them out. And I personally think these people are creative and amazing individuals. They inspire me to keep working on my craft, and they also help me to challenge myself or to jump outside my comfort zone. And I really think every beginner artist should have a mentor or somebody or something to draw inspiration from. And this is going to make your art journey and experience easier and better. So yeah, that is the end of the video. And for more like this, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So that is the end of the video. And I recently uploaded some designs to my Redbubble. Feel free to check them out, and I'll leave a link in the description below. And purchasing designs on my Redbubble is actually a great way to support this channel. And so thank you so much for watching this to the end, and I will see you in the next